Come on.
Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Once again, we are on. He is the great Mike Steph. I am the Mojo King, and this is Hidden Gems Football. Post Super Bowl. Mike Steph, how you doing?
It's ironic. I was telling you before we started recording that how everything is 360 degrees in rotation. Everything, you know, how it started, how it ended. The first full episode of the season, I was in my humble abode. I was in my undisclosed place that sometimes I have to be forced to record from. And sure enough, we have this bonus episode to wrap up the season. And guess where I'm at? In my undisclosed place, in my humble abode, wearing all black. So yeah, everything is just cyclical. But no, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing better than the Chiefs are.
All right. Quick question before we jump into the next subject. You're not in your bathroom, are you?
No, I'm not in my bathroom. This would be a spacious ass bathroom. So I'm sitting on my bed, the place where magic happens.
Strange transition. Let's talk about Mike Steph's one big thing. There you go.
Speaking of one big things, but yeah, my one big thing is the Jets. The New York Jets have decided not to move forward with quarterback, potential Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers. Now, this past Sunday, Fox Sports insider Jake Glazer reported that Rodgers met with the Jets last week in New Jersey and was told by the team that they are moving on from him. Now, listen, by cutting him, the Jets will incur a $49 million dead money charge this season, unless they designate him as a post-June 1 cut. If they do so, they can spread out the hit over 2 years, $14 million in 2025 and $35 million in 2026. Aaron Glenn and new GM Muji may just want to eat all that money in year one. Now, as for cash, they just don't owe Rodgers not a guaranteed dime. They've already given him all the money that they needed to give him up front. The Rodgers move is the first big one in the Jets offseason. It also makes the release of wide receiver Devontae Adams and his $35.6 million salary very, very likely. Now, what really kills me with this whole discussion is the people in the media, especially in New York City, who actually feel that Aaron Glenn is wrong for making this decision. Like, why would a new head coach brought in to instill a culture want to retain someone who is the antithesis of what he's trying to accomplish? Why? For a quick fix? Isn't that what's gotten us in this situation to begin with? Now, I'm going to name names because this is the last episode of the season. So therefore, y'all can't talk to me. Y'all can't touch me until at least July. First on the list, Joe Beningo. You have clowns like Joe Beningo crowing on the radio about how this isn't the direction that he would take. Isn't it the same guy who betrayed the trust of the prior head coach by being a gossip girl and letting everyone know about the private convos and the private info he was receiving and private conversations he had with Coach Robert Saleh? And now you have the audacity to talk about the new incoming head coach trying to keep a 41-year-old quarterback? Miss me. Then you have one Brandon Tierney, who hasn't hit on the prediction ever. He's a Knicks fan. He's a Jets fan. He's a Yankees fan. I still remember when he was on ESPN talking about Danilo Gallinari is going to be the next superstar of the New York Knicks. He was riding that train until the wheel fell off. Remember? I remember. He feels we don't have a quarterback. We should keep Aaron Rodgers. What else is new? We never have a quarterback. Instead of being the same old Jets, we actually are trying something different. We have been 14 years in a playoff drought, one winning season in those 14 years. But we should bring back a 41-year-old narcissist who has no future with the franchise to effectively submarine any chance that Aaron Glenn may have in starting his regime right. That's what I'm hearing? Yeah, all right. Well, I think Aaron Glenn has started off on the right foot. Listen, this is not a win or else mandate from ownership. He just got the job. He's putting in all his key pieces. This is the season to figure out who's going to stay and who's going to leave. He's from that Parcells tree, but he'll be quick to tell you he ain't Parcells. He's Aaron Glenn. And for that, I'll give him a standing ovation from the beginning. And that, my friends, is Mike Steph's season finale. One big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right with you as far as the Jets might as well just start over. That experiment, they tried it. It failed twice. Why would you do it to yourself again? Okay, so odds are out already on where they think that Aaron Rodgers might go. I'm going to list some names for you, some teams for you. You tell me if you think any of these sound reasonable to you.
Are the options hell? Or one of the options a deep hole in the desert?
Well, I mean, a couple of these teams, you might equate to that. But all right, I'm going to run them off real quick. The favorites are the Pittsburgh Steelers, ranked at 2-1. The Raiders, 3-1. The 49ers, which seems very odd, 3.5-1. The Vikings at 4-1. Darnold's a free agent. I kind of see that. Further down the list, you have the Titans, the Colts, the Rams, and the Giants. Please, for the love of everything, do not let him stay in New York. Any of those options sound reasonable?
I can't see him and Mike Tomlin meshing. But I will say this. If he decided to give Pittsburgh a try, I'm quite sure he would go in with the mindset of knowing that Mike Tomlin is that man. Mike, the more I think of it, that is a strong possibility because he's going in with someone in that head coaching position that he has to respect. I think the respect would be mutual. So that's a possibility. The Raiders, do you really want to have Tom Brady looking over your shoulder? Why would you want to go to a team that, yeah, they have good parts, but it's not really on the cusp of contending really? In the Rams, Stafford is really trying to leave. Those are big shoes to fill, unfortunately for him, because Stafford went over there and won his first year. The Vikings, that's too Brett Favre-ish. I can't see that happening. So I guess out of all the teams you named, Pittsburgh, I can actually see. It's kind of fitting because we got Pittsburgh colors this week.
I think for Aaron Rodgers, well, of course the 49ers would be interesting, but I don't understand why that's even on the list. I don't see them giving up on Brock Purdy at all. The Vikings become interesting if the rookie is going to be out for a good part of the season. Maybe you let Aaron Rodgers take over there and see what he could do early in the season. But honestly, the one team I think that would want to sign him is a place that he probably shouldn't go, which is Tennessee, because they really need a quarterback, and they seem to want to sign a veteran. I don't like a lot of these options for Aaron Rodgers at all.
Tell you the truth, it makes you wonder on the Jets' point of view, who we're going to get. I really don't want them to go into the Kirk Cousins field, even though it would be like dirt cheap.
I know who the Jets are signing. Sam Darnold is coming back.
No, we're not. He's not coming back.
Yes, he is. He's coming back.
He's not coming back.
You heard it here
Mr.
first.
Modern Nucleosis. Not coming back.
You heard it here first. Some of our picks didn't go right, but you know where the picks are always right? At Prize Picks. What you say, Mike Steph?
Well, being the fact football season's over, basketball season is heating up, and Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. All-Star Weekend is here, and Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching your favorite players during the game and the Saturday night events like the 3-point contest. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5 bet. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed when you use the promo code CLNS. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts and is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. PrizePicks is truly the best way to win real money with all the various opportunities to play and collect your winnings. Due to the enormous selection of players and stat types available, we can mix and match our playing strategies based on personal preferences. Do you think Steph Curry will get more than 5 3-pointers next week? Giannis for more than 35 points? Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. I might take Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks and Luka for more than 8 assists next week. And for those who love a quick win, Prize Picks is the way to go. You can make your picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. So what you waiting for? Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Remember, with Prize Picks, it's as simple as picking more or picking less. Again, that's promo code CLNS to get $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. Hidden Gems Football is rocking with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks, run your game. Prize Picks, power to the picks.
Wait, this way. This way. This way. Power to the picks.
Yes.
Don't take Anthony Davis. Kyrie Irving is replacing him in the All-Star game.
Sure. I don't think nobody's going to be able to take Anthony Davis for at least another month and a half.
Yeah.
You know, he's living up to his name, street clothes.
All right. Oh, yeah, there was a big game last week. It wasn't it was entertaining if you were an Eagles fan, but I think if you were looking for a good game, it wasn't the best. Yeah, the game went slightly out of focus, Mike Steph. What's your take on it? Do you have a recap or anything interesting of notes?
Well, good thing you asked, because I got a little bit of an opinion on it. You know, watching some of the post-game comments or first take, which is something I haven't watched in months. And tell you the truth, once I watched it, I realized why I haven't watched it in months. Yeah, see, I'm actually on a name-calling mission. It seems I'm calling everybody out. You know, hopefully it don't affect us in the future. And if so, I'm quite sure these names would be bleeped out. But yeah, they were going back and forth, and I'm just like, yeah, that's why I don't get up in the morning and watch this. Anyway, I personally, from all the post-game comments that I've heard, the pundits and everything, I don't want to hear anything about a poor offensive line right now when it comes to the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, we heard that, yeah, they was hurting on it, but nobody was picking the Chiefs, I mean the Eagles going into the Super Bowl saying, yeah, the Eagles are totally going to pummel the Chiefs offensive line. So I don't want to hear anything about the offensive line was so porous, and poor Patrick Mahomes didn't have no time. No, he didn't have no time. They got beat by a 4-man rush. You know how many times they blitz? Zero amount of times. Just schemes, just stunts, just overpowering. Jalen Carter was a man beast down there. You know, the mistake of going new at the lost tackle position. Now, I want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about, they missed Rashid Rice. Rashid Rice was never a factor. I don't want to hear about, Hollywood Brown was only there for a fraction of the year. Y'all wasn't saying that when they were 15-1, were y'all? Y'all wasn't saying that when they were 12-0, 11-0. Y'all wasn't saying none of that. They were 15-2 and a game away from 3-peating. And now all of a sudden we want to hear, now all of a sudden Travis Kelce is washed. Travis Kelce been washed. He has little glimpses here, has little glimpses there, but he's been washed. To me, the most telling factor of the game was Patrick Mahomes had happy feet all night long. He was almost a version of Savion Glover in that movie, Happy Feet, back then. He was the dancing penguin. That defense was on his behind from the first snap. Now, on the opposing defense, they kind of psyched them out. The opposing defense, the Chiefs defense was so primed to stop Saquon Barkley, they forgot about all the other weapons that the Eagles have. They got Devontae Smith. They got A.J. Brown. And they got the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts used his legs and gassed them constantly. The Chiefs were outcoached. Yes, I have to give them. I have to give credit where credit's due. The Chiefs were outcoached. They were outclassed and they were outplayed. They had no answers for anything that the Eagles threw at them. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots couldn't finish the job of a historic undefeated season. The Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 1970s were close. They were incredible, but they only won 2 in a row. They won 4 the Pittsburgh won four within 6 years, but they never won 3 in a row. The 1980s had the San Francisco 49ers repeating, and the 90s had the Dallas Cowboys repeating. And they were NFL royalty, but no three-peat. Now, Mahomes, as I kind of mentioned in the lead up, he's never really been stellar in the big game, in the Super Bowl. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he had 2 more interceptions that led directly to 14 Philadelphia Eagle points, including 1 pick six by Philadelphia rookie Cooper DeJean. Now, the Chiefs had won 17 straight 1-score games. And you know how the Eagles beat them at that game? They made sure it was more than 1-score game. They had them 24-zip. They had them 36. they made sure you're like, you know what? We don't got to worry about that 1-score game. So actually, technically, the Chiefs are still 17 straight in 1-score games because this was not a 1-score game whatsoever. Now, the Eagles' performance, particularly on defense, has to rank among the top performances in Super Bowl history, right behind the New York Giants both times in 07 and 2011. And of course, the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers who toured Patrick Mahomes, a new one, in that thrashing. Now, Philadelphia's front pummeled the offensive line of the Chiefs, which was the theme of the previously mentioned loss against the Buccaneers. And here's one last stat. Do you know that the Eagles were 16-1 after September? After their bye, when they went into the bye 2-2, they were 16-1, with their only loss coming when Jalen Hurts got concussed in the third quarter against the Washington Commanders, and Jaden Daniels led his team for a miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter. That's how close Philly was from running the table for a stretch of 4.5 months. Simply put, Philly was a better team. Steve Dundales was once again on point. Yeah, I swear I was so close to just saying that I was going to switch, and I was like, you know what? I already said the Chiefs, and I stuck to it. But
yeah, you mentioned Steve Dundales on the previous show. There was quite a few that got it right. Real quickly, I'm going to run down the list.
Desmond Powell here, host and creator of Hip to the Game. For the big game, I'm rolling with the Philadelphia Eagles.
My name is Tiffany, and my prediction for the Super Bowl this year will be the Eagles. Go Eagles.
I'm Kevin L. Warren, host of the Sports Chasers podcast. My Super Bowl pick, Fly, Eagles, Fly.
Word, D. Smith here. WordLife1/YouTube.com. Birds.
Good luck to the Eagles while they watch the Kendrick concert.
Well, yeah. Go Team Eagles.
Hey guys, it's Brad Winchester from the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am taking the Eagles.
My name is Robin Williams. I am a behavioral and educational consultant here in Central Florida, and I'm going with the Eagles.
This is your man Kill with Apartment 5B Podcast. You already see who I'm going for on Sunday with the big game. Eagles, you know what I mean? We bringing this joint back to the crib.
That's Derek Myers. And of course, that's Jonathan Tirado. We're with the Sideline Guys representing OTS Media Co.
I'm going with the Eagles, obviously.
I'm going with the Eagles, too. The boy's going to do it.
Going for the Philadelphia Eagles this year for the Super Bowl. Tune into OrlandoMagicHQ.com for all news related to Orlando Magic. My name's Stephen Cameron, and I'm with the HQ.
Mets pitchers and catchers starts Wednesday the 12th. Let's go Mets.
I will say one thing. I did backdoor my prop picks. I don't know if you noticed that. But I got the game script completely wrong. But I did say DeAndre Hopkins touchdown and Xavier Worthy plus 50 yards and a touchdown. So You wouldn't have been broke if you listened to me. You'd have been completely wrong about the game. But, sometimes the experts are right, and sometimes the experts just get lucky. And sometimes the experts are no expert.
That was great wording. You backdoored your pick. Okay. But just leave it at that.
Hey man, you're podcasting from the toilet, so don't talk to me about that.
Listen.
All right. Real quick before we get out of here, Mike Steph, is the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty over, and has the Philadelphia Eagles dynasty begun? The Eagles are the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year at 6-1. The Chiefs are second, 7-1.
All right. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment and say just because the Chiefs got lambasted in the Super Bowl that their run is over. Of course, they're going to have to replace a couple players. They're going to have to fortify the offensive line again, even though, like I said, I'm not using that as an excuse. They still have Andy Reid. They still have Mahomes. They still have the majority of the people on defense coming back, and that's really what's been leading them the last couple of years, has been that defense. Mahomes had a down year and it just reared his ugly head in the Super Bowl of, he couldn't get out of that, but that doesn't mean their dynasty is over. Listen, they've made the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years. The AFC is a rough terrain because you got Josh Allen, you got Joe Burrow, you got Lamar Jackson, you got new coaches coming in as Pete Carroll, and you got Jim Harbaugh and the whole nine. So, it's going to be a rough terrain. But anyway, the Eagles, you know what? I'll say this. I don't think they're going to go on a dynastic run, but their franchise, if you want to say their franchise is dynastic, I would agree. This is their second Super Bowl victory since 2017. It's their second Super Bowl victory in 7 seasons. Third appearance in 7 seasons. And they have a young nucleus. Jalen Hurts is just going to get nothing but better. Is AJ Brown still going to stay there? I think in his mind, he might be like, look, I got a ring. And now it's all about the stats, and I want to go elsewhere. Because even during the game, him and Sirianni had a little tit for tat, which was kind of obscured because they won in such dominating fashion. So I don't think that's going to be long, and his relationship with Jalen Hurts is probably not the best. But yeah, I'll give this to bottom line it. The Phillies are a top 3 organization in the NFL. Harry Roseman, he's like almost a gold standard. Jeffrey Lurie as an owner is a gold standard. And it's like I said, as much slander as I give the Eagles, as much as I don't like the majority of their fan base, I'm so happy for Saquon, and tell you the truth, I'm happy for the city because it was a long time coming, and now they can really puff their chest out and be like, listen, we were champions are made of. Yeah, I don't think the old dynasty is over. I don't think the new dynasty has begun. I just think, unfortunately, we're probably going to see a lot of rematches of these two in the upcoming years.
Yeah, I think I have a similar take to you, but I will say this. I think the Chiefs, one way or the other, even if they had won this year, we're going to have a lot of work to do. They keep giving Mahomes less and less to work with, and finally it showed up in a key moment. Mike Steph, can you take us home?
This has been a great season for me and Mo. And I know Mo has said this outside the show, and I'm going to have an opportunity to say this on the show. I really, really appreciate each and every one of the people who participated in our last Super Bowl episode. That really means a lot to both of us. Just the support, just the fact that y'all chose to lend your voice to our platform really means a lot to us. Also, just this whole season, starting from training camp to the regular season to the postseason, we had numerous scheduling conflicts, and to tell you the truth, we never missed 1 week at all. We made it work, and I really think we've grown as a unit, as pretty much teams are supposed to. So I think season 4 is going to be bigger and better. And last but not least, and just on a personal note, I really like to thank the whole 19 media group for making me feel like a real integral part of the team. I once again I'm a humble dude, even though my quote unquote character might belie that. But yeah, I really do appreciate everything, and this year has just been above and beyond. I mean, I could go down the list, GI, Hip to the Games, Roaring, just everybody, even the people I haven't had a chance to have a actual conversation with, Prude Awakening / Small Town USA. Like the list goes on and on and on. And I really appreciate all of y'all for actually making me feel like a real part of the team. And I'm totally a team player. So but yeah. So with all that being said, I guess just want to wrap this up for the season. So Hidden Gems Football has been a part of the 19 media group. And I have a sense that damn chicken is about to rear his head. But you know what? I'm going to let it slide because this is the season finale and I'm in a hospitable mood. So, goodbye.
Goodbye. Bird, fly, bird.
I swear. Freaking chicken. And I don't got none of my props with me. Ooh, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. I swear.
You're the real winner. You are the true MVP.
What? The true MVP? Listen.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
Listen, I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm in a very funny mood. So a lot of this might get cut. Mr. Scissorhands over here. As I'm watching somebody lower a bag from their top floor apartment. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this bag go back up into the window. Wait, the way I was looking, I was like, yeah. I wondered that was a transaction.
You're looking at the Eagles fly.
Yeah. Eagles fly. Shoot.
Eagles
birds,
fly.
More like birds flying, if you know what I mean. Would you like this? Am I glitchy? Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's gonna be all edited. It's gonna be all edited out.